making. So you sound like you're making money.
Yes.
Shmoneys. As Carly B would say, shmoneys.
I'm out here with my shmoney life, you know, get my shmoney, be a fellow BXer,
So
you know.
is this your full time?
It is not. I am actually still corporate. So before my dream was a little deferred, guys. So before I actually was able to branch into the makeup world, you know, that whole rigmarole, get your grades right, make sure you go to school, get yourself together, you're not going to be happy, blah. So I put myself through school and got 2 degrees. I actually have a degree in Spanish and I have a degree in psychology. But I actually started out as a computer engineering major. So all of my degree and work kind of all tied together. So I'm actually a senior business systems consultant, and I actually do process management. So if you think about process management, think about going to a McDonald's, right? And when we walk in, we might see 15 million things wrong, right? Oh, this person's over here talking. Oh, I'm waiting 10 minutes for my food. This one didn't take the order right. She doesn't understand the machines. They would actually get someone like me to come in and say, hey, can you help us figure out what it is that we're doing wrong? Like, how can we be more efficient?
Quality control, pretty much.
Not necessarily quality control. I'm more efficiency. Like, how can I make your job not only easier for you to do, but where you get more productivity out of it?
Okay.
So, right. So,
well, now I'm hearing all that. You just earned probably a 2nd to 3rd position at the company.
Lord, they hire me all over the place. Don't they know I'm tagged?
Well, see, we do that, then we can get you full time. And then
okay, look, they want to hire me full time. You know, I know my manager will probably be like, "What are you doing to me?" Like, I love you, Tom. Tom is the best manager ever. So he really is. So, but I'm fortunate enough that I can do my career and work from home. So sometimes I have to travel to my main group or my main client site, which isn't really far. You know, good old Winston. And then if I need to go and have a meeting with my team or anything like that, then I have to fly out cross country because my whole team sits in Minnesota. So,
oh, man.
So as far as, like, who's your clients in Winston?
So when I mean my clients, all of them are internal.
Okay.
So I work for a major financial firm.
Okay.
So we do, we basically do anything that you can think of as far as if you got money, like, and I know that sounds crazy, but we won't even take you as a client unless you have about 40 million.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Say what?
You gotta have 40 million to even become
to even come to the table.
Wow.
If you have like 29 and you can show us how you'll make up the 11 within like a 3 to 5 year span, then we'll take you.
Oh,
but
man.
if you don't have the dollars, we won't even talk to you. We white glove everybody.
So what is okay? So
we
I
do
got
numbers in the trillions a year.
So what is like? Okay, because I don't even know how to after that ask this next question. I'm trying to figure out. So
I done messed them up, y'all. I didn't mean to.
What is? I don't know if I want to say it this way. What are you doing to ask for 40 million? I guess that's what I want to say.
Okay, so so a lot of our portfolio managers, they only deal with, you know, a very specified amount of clients. Like if you think about a big bank, right? Mm-hmm. They have portfolio managers that deal and have different, you know, clients for the money that they manage. But one portfolio manager might have 30, 40 accounts that they're currently dealing with, all at one time. Mm-hmm. Our portfolio managers, I think the last time I checked, and it's been a while because thank God I don't work on that side of the thing, but they still want to make me take tests for it all the damn time. Mm-hmm. I want to say we have anywhere between a 12 to 1 or 14 to 1 ratio as far as portfolio manager to client. Mm-hmm. So we white glove a lot of stuff. A lot of our clients are like big names that you would know. We do, I mean, even down to teaching the kids, and that's something big that the one thing I do love about my company is that we have a program that I'm actually bringing to my son's school next year. It was too late in the year for me to bring it this year, but they actually have a thing called hands-on banking, and it actually has classwork and actual real-life scenarios, and it teaches the kids about how to properly bank. A lot of our clients, it's already built in to their clientele. So like from kindergarten till they graduate. They have, private, like little events, and they have it where they teach the kids about, the money market and mutual funds and understanding the inherited wealth that they're going to have one day and all these different things. So I applaud that, because I take that same information and I take it to, my son's school, and just like anybody that way, kids that aren't getting that, learn it. Because, let's be frank, in America, because y'all could be watching this anywhere, they don't really teach us what we need to know to survive, or not even to survive, because they do teach us that. They don't teach us what we need to know to thrive. They don't teach us what we need to know to be well off and to actually not have to work a 9-to-5 or struggle. They actually teach us a 9-to-5 struggle life, because that makes us quote unquote productive members of society, and now we have a way of giving back, which is why that's a whole nother conversation, guys. But it definitely does matter, and it really is how they teach us. So the fact that my company actually has that, information that we can take to other schools, and we can actually have somebody go in and teach that curriculum to them and give them that knowledge about how money works and how they can better work with it. Think about how many people's credit wouldn't be screwed if they just knew about credit when they came out. Versus you graduate and then all of a sudden you get hit. Don't apply for college. All of a sudden they is hitting you left and right. Credit card, credit card, credit card, credit card. And as a college kid, you like, shoot, I'm poor. I need to shop. I need to eat. Let's go.
I got that Cloud Visa card.
Not just that, but your student loan.
That's all I gotta do is swipe it.
Paid my way through school, so trust me. My mother has not one student loan with my mother's name on it. So I'm one of the rare people that actually didn't have, you know what I'm saying, that didn't have, parental, I had parental support. I just didn't have parental support.
Look, I literally realized that I knew I was paying for my school, but what I did one day was one of my advisors was like, yo, why did how you haven't been to class, yada yada. It's like 2 classes, 1 class. She's like, yo, you paying for it. So I literally sat down and broke down what I was paying per class per day for 1 semester. I was like, yo, I'm shitting on myself right now, so no more missing class.
$80 a day.
What?
That $80 education a day mattered, didn't it?
What?
Oh, I know the numbers.
I'm telling you.
When you pay for it yourself, you know the numbers.
That junk adds up so quick.
And don't mess around and get a refund check.
Oh, yeah.
And decide that you want to be a baller.
Oh, I did. I balled like a dog.
Okay, don't be a baller on your
freshman year, I took my homeboys to the mall. First semester, I ain't get anything. Everybody was like, oh, you didn't get a refund? I didn't know nothing about no refund. I was like, nah. So I got my little full-time job at Target, working 50 hours a week. Second semester, they dropped me like $2,500 on a refund check. I went straight to Eastland Mall, y'all, when it was still that thing, you know what I'm saying?
He just told on himself again, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
It was over.
I don't even know. Eastland Mall was an actual mall here at one point, people. Yes. Just in case y'all like, ain't no Eastland in Charlotte.
It was the mall, because it was the mall. Ice skating rink and everything.
The mall.
Well,
the mall.
They might know, because Eastland Mall made the news one year. Not in a good light.
I was going to say it's probably a shooting.
So did R. Kelly, and I talked to this young man in the store the other day that he had no idea about R. Kelly's proclivities.
But Eastern Mall, it was when there was this lot of around Christmas time mall fights going on. And Eastern Mall made the entire country new. They showed it was a big old
I remember that. It was just like,
and they was all fighting.
It was just like,
and they was going through like all the
pockets. I think I remember what happened. It was something along the lines of, certain group of friends was there and another group, but this one, like, you got that one person that pops off and just kind of like popcorn just springs up. That happened at my high school one year. It was like 4 fights before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh God!
And it was just like, it was like all of a sudden I seen kids. It was like raiding roaches. I was like, where'd he go? And then all of a sudden I looked over here, I was like, where'd he go? And I'm just looking, because I'm being the fat kid eating my biscuit, and I'm like, what's going on? All of a sudden it's just fight. I just see people running at me, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it used to be the mall. I used to go
y'all
there.
feeling frisky this morning.
Used to get my suits from Eastern Mall. Was this good? I think it was black owned. Was an older couple. Used to get these real good suits from Eastern Mall though. But I don't know. I never had, fortunately, a bad experience. I would go there day or night whenever.
Me, I used to go to Charlie's and get cheesesteaks all the time.
I was just about to say,
my hair cut.
Well, back when they actually had a Gap in the mall, I actually used to work at the Gap.
At Eastland, they had a Gap. Oh man, now that's very. That must have been
So
like
let you know that
further telling.
That must have been before I got to
ourselves.
Charlotte. Because when I got there, it was just like Lambs, Holloway.
I think it was like a Spanish store by the time you got
Probably
there. Like the where they have the dresses.
Like the Keys
Well, I
and
well, I remember Russell Simmons had his Fat Farm because I went there to buy some clothes. So he used to have a Fat Farm up there.
Yeah.
There was a
Fresh Air T-shirt shop used to be in there. My homeboy spray up shirts in there.
I remember them.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I had a couple of shirts.
Me and him never met. We went
to college.
Never
Black
met.
Samurai and I went to college together.
Never met.
And never saw each other. We met each other working at the hotel. And we both went to UNC Charlotte together.
And I'm sure we probably walked past each other. I went to his job, Target.
Yeah, I used to work at Target and University.
So I probably could have been on his line, didn't even like.
Full circle patterns, guys. You'd be surprised at how they happen.
Yeah. We were just talking about the other day how, we're talking about the 6 degrees of separation, but literally what we do, because the world's all connected, like it's like one body, so no matter what you do, it's always going to affect somebody that you don't know. And it might be in a small, very small shape or form, but it does happen. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you got the trickle and the butterfly effect, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. I believe in stuff like that because you just, when you really look at how, I mean, even if you just think about like our media and things like that right now, like one thing is said and it can really change the trajectory of how feelings are aligned, how friendship. I mean, I've seen people losing whole family members just dropping out the sky based on how something was taken and what someone else said. Case in point, I love my Kanye. I love him. Like, y'all don't know a bigger fan, okay? Let him make his face. I love my Yeezy, okay? I have always been a Yeezy fan, and Yeezy sparks some of the most controversial matters, especially since he got aligned with the Dash folks. I'm not gonna be a hater, but when you see how, if you think about him before and the energy he sparked and what he brought out of the people, and then you see him now and the energy he sparks and what he brings out of the people. This is one man.
Yeah.
And look at how just his energy, because of how many people were intertwined into him and how he actually was as a person, right? Like, like everybody say they miss the old Kanye. You know what I'm saying? But old Kanye was speaking to the heart and the voice of the people. Like, they could connect with him in that way. They felt what he was doing. They felt what he was saying. But when people have their own opinions and their own way of thinking about things, all of a sudden, if you're not saying what they expect for you to say, and you're wrong. We can't wait. When you leave those Dash people, then we'll come back to you. And it's like, to me, I'm like, you're willing to just throw your brother away because you have a difference of opinion in this current moment. When you agree with everything he said, you was just power to the people, right? Riding with him. And then as soon as you have a difference of opinion, you cut and bake. To me, that's just the epitome of our society, unfortunately. It's like, as soon as they don't agree with you, it's like, it's not even like, let me try to gain understanding. Let me try to, figure out where we went wrong. I don't have to agree with you to understand you. You know what I'm saying? I understand that he's in a different place right now, and I don't have to understand where that place is to understand that he's in a different one. That doesn't mean that I have to agree with this place. That doesn't mean I have to agree with the rhetoric that he says, but that doesn't mean I have to throw my brother away. That just means that right now we're in an odd space, and once we figure out where we are, then we can either have a meeting of the minds, or you'll say some other brilliant something that I'm gonna fall in love with anyway and download, and we just gonna be back in love again. Like, that's all.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he has to find his way back, because supposedly T.I. asked him a question. He asked him, do you think what you're saying is hurting people? And he kind of was oblivious to what he's saying could be offensive.
You know why? Because, again, your surroundings have a direct effect on how you fare out. unless you find other outlets. And and this is coming from a city kid, you know what I'm saying? I know people who have lived in the city all of their lives, have never left the city. I know people who haven't left their borough, you know,
and won't leave,
and have no intention of leaving.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's just so. It's just so unfathomable, because there's so much world and so many people in it, and so many things to see. How could you lock yourself into that one place? How could you just be there? And it's kind of like, when you're in certain energies, you either do one or two things. You either rise above that energy that you don't want to be in, and you move to the energy that you want, or you find yourself being sucked slowly and surely by the energy around you, and you take on the attributes of that energy that you're presented with at that time.
Assimilating to.
You assimilate to what you are.
I was about to say, you know, it's been years, and he's gained a lot of fame, and I don't know, supposedly there's rumors of financial issues, but regardless, he still has the fame. Even if he's broke, you can be broke and be famous. So, you know, I'm just real quick. I know this is a complete moment of random. But do you think, with the years of his fame, and being away from, I guess, the inner cities and all that, do you think that has affected his thought pattern? Just in your opinion. Now, again, this is just our opinion. This is just Kit's opinion.
My opinion matters. So, I do. I think it has changed him. I think it does affect how he thinks and feels about things, because, again, energy and how it transfers across people. It seems like, and I'm not one. I'm not a Dash hater. I'm not, because she got my baby daddy, so I have to love her vicariously. Just because I have to love her because she's with him. Okay,
yeah.
That's enough about my Kanye Kim rant. But if you look at all of the men who have been involved with the Kardashians, they all have these very, very almost dark energies with them.
It's like a broken background.
They weren't dark when they got there, though, right?
Do you think Reggie escaped Reggie Bush, the football player?
Not really, because his current wife looked just like him. Like, they're like
I ain't been keeping up. So.
They're like the generic Kanye Dash. Like, I mean, no offense to Reggie, I love him. He's good. Well, I don't know if he still plays. I think he does.
I don't even know.
I can't keep up.
I'm trying to make my money. I'm trying to get that NFL money. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have time. As a matter of fact, I just got told about myself because I don't watch TV, and I just recently, just to make you guys laugh, because our nation is a beautiful nation, and we have so many people that produce wonderful things. And as producers, y'all would appreciate this. So, I'm watching TV, and I'm actually, you know how you're watching, but you're not. I was actually on a conference call this morning, you know, because I still got to, make the bacon when I'm not making the bacon. And, they're talking, and I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden, this commercial comes on, and it completely catches me off guard, guys. Like, you have never been caught off guard like this. And I'm a New Yorker. It's hard to catch me off guard, okay? I look at everything. When I tell you it was a commercial for a Trumpy bear.
Who?
Okay,
I heard you right. A Trumpy bear.
If you can hunt, you can hear.
A Trumpy
and
bear.
It's called a Trumpy bear. Okay, now here's what it looks like. It is a teddy bear in a suit with a Trump comb over. Now, I don't know if it was more disturbing that this commercial was for adults by adults. Because I'm thinking, okay, you've got the Marine vet that drives a motorcycle, and he's claiming that he's riding around with his Trumpy bear on his bike because his rides are more fun with Trumpy bear. And you have this, lady who, because if you unzip the neck of Trumpy bear, you can pull out a cover that's, made like the United States flag. And she wrapped herself in the blanket and was hugging on her Trumpy bear. And, call me...
Propaganda.
Call me a tad bit nuts, because...
They're going to sell.
For $39.99. Keep that in mind.
It's going to sell.
What kills me about it is that y'all are like adults. Even there was a guy and he was like, he had him in the golf cart with him, and he was like, my slices are so much better. Thanks, Trumpy Bear. I am not making this up, people.
I believe.
This is a real commercial. And it was one of those things where I was like, okay, first things first, it's a teddy bear with a comb over. Where the kids? These are adults
With
marketing a teddy bear in a suit with a Trump comb over to other adults. And for one, America, we're just undefeated. We can't be defeated. Who would think? Only in the land of the free can you think of creating a teddy bear with a suit and comb over.
An orange comb over.
Throw a flag in the back of it. Call it a Trumpy bear. Charge $40 for it, and people buy it. We are undefeated as a nation. You top that wherever you're watching. I don't see none of y'all coming out with no Trumpy bears around here.
I mean, and even when Obama was in office, like
we didn't have an Obama bear.
We didn't have an Obama bear.
We had an Obama chia pet though.
And
but it gave us herbs, and we can use that. We could go pluck some rosemary up off of Obama. We can't do nothing with that damn Trumpy bear.
Well, I remember.
Man, that's crazy.
I remember a friend of mine had told me they wanted to make the daughters into dolls, but Michelle and Barack said no. Like somebody wanted to make dolls.
Oh, Malia and Milan. No, Sasha.
Melania got a doll, but it's a different kind of doll. I'm pretty sure.
Anyway,
I'm sure that's Trump's doll. Melania. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't even think Melania trying to be bothered. Every time I see her, she with the Bushes and the Obamas. Melania ain't never with Trump.
Nah, she chilling.
She ain't never with her baby daddy. Melania ain't never with her baby daddy. She is always with always with the O's.
At the same time,
or the Bushes.
She didn't want it. She didn't want to be no first lady of the United States, and I don't think the young little boy wanted to be a president's kid. He ran. People didn't think he was going to win. He probably didn't think
I remember where I was when I found out.
But I knew he was going to win.
I mean, I did too, just because it's America.
I didn't. I ain't going to tell you no lie. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't know. Because technically he didn't win the popular vote. He won the electoral vote. And the electoral college vote is shitty.
It is.
The French, you know, but it is. And it's not a process.
It defeats the whole purpose of the election.
You know, right. It's like if I live in a state that only gets 2 votes, but our state won, like it's kind of like, versus that, just you gotta tally all the ballots up anyway. Just tally the ballots up for whoever they go to and let it be the people's vote versus the people in the state, and then whoever state has more clout votes.
It's supposed to be that way for the people by the people, and this is, I don't know why we keep playing this game, y'all.
First things first, we're one of the few countries that pray. Everything is separated, right? Church and state is separated.
Supposedly.
Are you sure?
They're supposed to be, but they're not.
First things first, supposedly my ass, because when you go into Lady Justice, she blind. When you go in there, it has, in God we trust. You gotta.
You swear
put your hand on the Bible, but let them and then don't act like you want to commit perjury, because then they want to try to give you time because you a liar. I ain't got to tell you what I ain't got to want to tell you.
No, it's free will. If we under God, why can't I use my free will and not talk about this?
I ain't got to be under God. I don't want to talk to you. Okay, how about that? Just straight up. I don't want to talk to you.
But I knew he was going to win. The reason why I knew he was going to win was because he's Republican.
And he wasn't even always Republican. He was a Democrat when he first started in
this country
politics.
Was not going to put another Democrat. This country was not going to put a Democrat back into office.
He was a Democrat.
Because Clinton was the first Democrat to win a second term. And Obama is the second.
But when I tell you, when Trump, before he had his whole political career, he was a Democrat. He was blue as they came. He was about the people. He wasn't for this red side of life. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And the other reason is because Hillary's a woman. And that's why I knew.
Yeah, Hillary's a woman, and also she came connected with all the drama that Bill had when he was doing all the bust down. And then she's not Michelle.
But then other than that, you have...
Me for 2020.
But what annoyed me was this whole, but I don't think a woman should take a man's position.
That sounds like, okay, I'm gonna implore y'all to watch this show if you haven't heard of it or seen it. It's called The Handmaid's Tale.
And that was said by women.
Mm.
What I just said was said by women.
You mean
What
like the
I
women?
also said, what also these women who were too, and this is not bashing, and this might piss some of y'all off, but a lot of these women who said that were church going women.
Oh, of course.
But you probably knew all of that, but still.
I was just in one of my women's groups, and we're so random, guys. I was just in one of my women's groups on Facebook, and one of the questions that was posed was, is it considered rape if your husband wants to have sex but you don't want to?
I've heard that before.
And you would not believe in 2018 how many women were like, well, when you get married, you're a property of your husband.
What?
That was this year, okay? Now, if you look at The Handmaid's Tale, like when you were saying something about it, what I do?
You are to love,
Honor, and respect.
and obey.
Oh, see, I got the wrong words. That's why I'm married.
That is what the man says, when it still to this day says, or woman, when you get
That's
married to the woman, that you are to love, honor, and obey.
I don't remember them saying it, man.
It is, but
Is it Justice of Peace?
I don't know about this, but if you go before definitely the church.
I'm about to say, we ain't go to church, we went to court.
But that's commonly said.
That's a religious thing here in America. If you go to other countries, other countries don't even take their husband's last name. That's why you have the woman that have this one last name, and you got all these kids that are Alvarez Benitez. You know what I'm saying? Because they got like both names or whatever, just to have the maternal and paternal. That's an American thing.
They take the mother's name and then the father's. Because like my
Because
wife,
the father's name is paternal slash.
yeah,
Yep.
my wife actually kept her, and it was because her father. One, because her father died when she was 15, and I thought it was important to keep the last name because she's Mexican. And then, and two, because I really don't give a shit, what your name is. I mean, it's cool. You can be a Shaw, but I mean, I don't care about it. Long as you there for me, like you said.
Shaw, Alvarez.
Hell, I don't even.
You rolling over next to me now.
Look, I'm only prideful for my last name because my grandfather. I said, but other than that, I could be Eric X. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, it's just a name, y'all. Just a name.
And that's what it comes down to. It's more religiousized in America as far as the Bible and everything like that. As far as how, you take the man's last name, you become his property. Again, if y'all haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale, I promise you all of this, what we're saying.
I gotta watch it.
It basically Hulu. It actually has taken. You get your free trial. So watch it. Season 2 is out now too. Now,
is that the one where they run? That's the one where they ran around. They put them in these reds. Okay, I seen that. Yeah, that looks
so
good.
Basically, what it is that so these religious men basically they felt like our nation was just being overrun, and they didn't like how the government was, so they did a coup against the government. Basically turned the United States into Gilead, which is the new land name, is the land of Gilead. Imagine all your closet stuff gone. You have one outfit that you wear every time. Like you have different it's the same outfit, same thing, but you just got one for each day. No luxuries, no anything. And but they made it so it was so primitive, but they did it in sections because at first they did it where they fired all the women. If you were a woman and you had a job, you were no longer allowed to go back to work. You no longer had a job. If you had a bank account, oh yeah, if you had a bank account, you didn't have any more money. You could transfer whatever funds you did have to your nearest male relative or your husband.
Oh, for women.
Yes, and it tied into fertility. And basically, a lot of people and I tell people pay attention to what's fed to you in society currently, because it will be a precursor for things that you see later on. And I always use Back to the Future as a reference, right? Back to the Future came out in 1984. When he went Back to the Future, there were hoverboards, there were flat screen TVs with picture-in-picture. Biff became president, and the Sox won the World Series. Find a lie.
I mean, that's like the Jetsons.
Find the lie.
And the Simpsons.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. They show us what they're gonna do. It's like like you said, it's a precursor.
It's a precursor, but people don't pay attention.
Say that.
But people don't pay attention to because it's entertainment.
And it's supposed to be too good to be true, because even Adolf Hitler said that. He said that the easiest way to control a large amount of people is to pretty much create a lie. There's no way.
That it's so far, it's so out there that it can't not be true.
Yeah, but he stick with it so hard, and that's why they thought the Jews were so bad. He said it. I mean, that's the way he controlled the whole. I mean, he caused a world war over that.
But that's really what it comes down to. Like, it talks about, like, basically the red hats, like you saw, they were all women that were fertile. Because basically, due to like the hormones and food and all this other stuff, like the fertility rates were dropping, and basically babies weren't being born all around the world due to all of the GMO and all the other stuff that they put in foods and things like that to make it either bigger or more palatable. And literally, you know, she had gotten, like, she was trying to run. Like, her husband had made it out. Like, he finally made it out because they escaped to Canada. Okay. But her daughter got snatched, and she wound up getting snatched up and put in, you know, into servitude, basically to be a concubine to make babies for her parent. You know, and it all comes down to, there's so many different shows about it. It either shows you the side of population control, where you have these cities that all of a sudden you can't get into the city, people in the city can't get out.
And shut off, yeah.
And it shuts out
the highway system is the way it is.
And then they tell you, oh, everything is fine, pray for the city, they had floods or something like that. It's either an influx where they're having multiple births, but due to fertility, think about all the influx of twins. But remember, twins was like a rarity. Like, to have a twin was like, oh my God. Now, who ain't having twins? It's like, triplets is like the next thing up, you know? Yeah. And even there was a show on Netflix, another good one for y'all to check. When I have time to watch, I try to catch up lots. But it's a Netflix movie called Whatever Happened to Monday.
Oh, I saw that with the daughters, and they had to hide them. Oh my goodness!
Sunday through Monday.
Oh my goodness!
Sunday through Saturday. It was good.
There's another one out now called. My wife just started watching it this week, and I'm trying not to because I got work to do. But it's called The Rain, and it's about them doing the scientists geoengineering something with the rain, and the rain is deadly. So if it touches you, it don't matter if you ingest it or not, you die. So it's a population control thing.
You ever noticed like the different weather patterns?
Oh yeah, you gotta think. I'm a geological earth scientist.
Right.
So
I was gonna say so. And before,
and then look at, like we said, we older, so we're used to seeing airplanes go by and the vapor trail disappearing as the plane goes by. Now the chemtrails, which I actually have a 6-hour DVD at home about it. Chemtrails, again, is a way to control population, and this is why weather is the way it is. But I know California now, I saw a video with them, they're now painting, they're practicing where they're painting their streets white to reflect the sunlight, because asphalt is black, of course, absorbs, and then the actual white surface of the road will reflect it. So it's actually gotten their heat down by, or what they have is called urban heat island effect. Cities are warmer than usual.
Yeah.
So it's down 30% right now, but that's in California. But yeah, I saw
Cali's always had the rolling blackouts and all that.
Yeah, they got a bunch of just like New York and stuff, you know.
But yeah, so
just like Thunder the Barbarian.
Yeah, I will tell you, definitely check out those two different things. A couple of them I told you guys, because they really do show you things that you wouldn't think. Because Biff is president right now, and the Sox surely did win the series.
So. And they actually made the shoes from Back to the Future too. Remember they came?
They surely did. The McFlys.
There's one for like 20 racks.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring up old school Thunder the Barbarian, you may think of this one episode where it was these wizards, and Thunder and his two friends, they was all competing for something. I forgot what it was, but you made me think of the rain thing, because one of these wizards had made this machine that was piloted by robots, and it went up, it did something, the clouds came in, and it dropped acid rain that was actual acid. And we do that now, control the weather, because there was just not too long ago, a machine that was making it rain.
It's called the Hard Machine. But look at the 90s, the movie with Sean Connery, The Weatherman. You remember that? They were controlling the weather. They were charging world governments to say, hey, you want sunny weather? Well, you're going to give us these $20 billion or whatever. So again, like you said, they showing you, and then we got the Heart Machine. So that's what the Weatherman was in the 90s.
Or even old school Thunderbirds. I remember one Thunderbird.
This is how you know artistic people, because they not only are they random, but they talk about all kinds of sciencey, crazy stuff that other people are looking at as weird for. And then we were all three black people hounding about, did you see this one about the science of the did you see this one about the earth? And they probably thinking we supposed to be like, girl, did you see about what Kardashian did or whatever we did?
We don't care.
This is how you know we're artsy
school cartoons. Like
right. He done went to Thundar. Do you even know what a Thundar is?
No. It's on YouTube. You can look it up.
Look up a Thundar, because I know you probably like a who? Look it up. You're gonna be like them. As soon as you open it and you see the cinematography, you're gonna be like, Thundar. Oh, but don't judge us, because we out here on our science and our living our best life. So.
But it's just funny you think about those old cartoons. You just don't think about how it's all been.
You know what? I'm very weird like that, and I'm very intuitive like that, and it's one of those things where I've always seen things differently. I've always felt things differently, and so I pay attention differently.
Yeah.
And I think that's what actually makes me great at my career versus my.
Even the Badlands. Have you ever watched the Badlands?
You think I don't know about sunny fucking things? Oops, excuse me, I wasn't supposed to say that. But do you know about that?
That's the one I told you should watch, because they behind this
big Badlands.
This big old wall. They got the big old wall. Apparently, some great war or something happened.
You see me over here, right? You see me over here dying, right? I'm dead.
When you say Badlands, I think about Midwestern, South Dakota, and stuff. I think about the actual Badlands. I'm so nerdy. I think about actual scientific Badlands.
Think about. Oh my God.
Mad Max.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I know it's got to be something like that.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
It does give you Mad Max, but to me,
Badlands is a cross between samuraiism and slavery. That's what it is. Because it's plantations, there's barons.
Like, they have basically something when... just watch it. And just
it's
watch how Sunny...
Okay.
Season 1 and 2 is both on that.
Oh, Sunny.
You'll like it, though. You'll like it. And they got a lead Asian dude.
I'm going to tell you like this. Watch it.
Netflix.
I live for Sunny.
If I watch this Netflix, y'all gotta give us a show. Y'all gotta give us one show. I watch all your stuff.
I live for Sunny, okay? Looking like the streets in Harlem. I live for him, okay? Just saying. Cause
I just finished 13 Reasons Why.
I couldn't.
It was good. It was kind of bad. I will say, because it's...
I just got done with Dear Black People. Dear White People.
Dear Black People.
It should be Dear Black People.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't seen that either.
I got to just finish Lost in Space because I fell asleep while watching it.
Me and my son just finished watching it. I had put him onto it, and he abandoned. We were watching a series of unfortunate events.
Mm-hmm.
He abandoned it. Like, I was like, Bud, I said, I think I got a show you're gonna love.
I still love the original.
He was like, Mommy, but Will, like, Danger Will Robinson, like, Danger.
Danger Will Robinson.
He was just so, like, when I put it on, like, ever since I put, Mommy, we have to watch. Like, are we on time? Mommy, we have to watch. Are we ready, Mommy? Like, we have to go. Like, he was so... Oh my God, he loved Lost in Space. What's the honest? Actually, and just a shout out to my cousin Kiki LeBron. If you get a chance to watch 7 Seconds, she's actually an actress in that show.
7 Seconds, I think
that's with I want to say Keisha Knight Pulliam, but I know that's not her name.
Is this the one where the girl loses a kid or something?
Yes.
Like that? Okay, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, wait. Regina King. Oh, okay. How could I not? I love you, Regina. Don't blame my head, not my heart, honey. Just blame my head. But no, it's an amazing show. So, if you get a chance, just check out those different things. I just tell people, just pay attention. I know it probably sounds like from two nerds and a geek and the makeup artist in the middle. I know it probably sounds like hoopla or whatever, but I promise you, if you look at exactly what I told you about from Back to the Future or even any of the other shows, you won't be able to find a lot because it's actually all there. And it's just, again, when they feed it to you through media and entertainment.
Because even like Disney World, when you go to the future world, like at Epcot Center, they was doing the living in space on other planets. You had the flat screens.
But it was all entertainment. Remember, The Wedding Singer? Do you remember that movie with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Because that's my homie.
Yeah.
Remember when the douche boyfriend was talking about the CDs, and she was like, "But how do you put it in a tape player?" He was like, "But don't, because it's a CD, you know. And that was even all. But think about it. Back, I remember when that movie came out. Of course, it was a later movie featuring things old. But even then, when that would have come out, when the first CD players would have come out, $800, $1,000, you know, something crazy. You know what I'm saying?
CDs were like $20, $30.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Back when you could still do Columbia House.
Yeah.
Because then you can get a whole thick pack like this for $20, $30.
12 CDs for 1 cent and a 6-month membership. And every month, just make sure that you buy 1 or 2 CDs to keep your membership up to date and without being charged back for all of the 1 cent CDs. Why do I remember that?
It had the little like stamp things in it. You had to like put the perforation.
Oh my god! When you stick it on the table, let them know what
these ones I want.
Yeah, but I remember.
Yeah. That's horrible, y'all. And I collected stamps, so I thought it was cool. I was like, the ones that I didn't send out to get. I mean, that's like how I got my first Genuine CD, you know, Wu-Tang and stuff.
But that's so funny because that's I remember like going to like the record store and like having like oh my god.
I miss the record store.
You know Manifest is still open?
Yeah, Manifest is still open. Yeah. Records are actually still, vinyl's popular.
Vinyls are still popular.
That's a whole nother story.
There's a record store in my old stomping grounds off of like
Lunchbox
Queens.
Oh no, that's over by Central, I think.
No. Lunchbox is by Central.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about over by Queens, like Selwyn, Queens Avenue.
You talking about near the Manor, Midnight Manor Theater, over in that area?
Yep.
I know what you're talking about.
Wait. So Midnight Manor is down. I know what you're talking about. I'm talking about the Park Road Center. You know, it has like the Harris Teeter, the Starbucks. It's got like the bike shop in there.
Yeah.
All those little things in that little
right on Park Road?
Yeah,
where
Park Road and Queens Boulevard. Park Road with Selwyn right there on that corner.
Yeah.
These are just good memories.
Look, I told y'all when we first started I was old. I ain't put punches.
We know what...
I'm a little dated.
We know what good stuff, great stuff is. Back in the day, even when you was a singer, you had all kind of different varieties. Singers, everybody looked different.
I don't know nothing about no Nita Baker.
Diana Ross, Bruce Springsteen. Y'all know about Michael. Y'all know about Janet. You know about the Jackson 5. But yeah,
y'all don't know about Lisa Stansfield.
Billy Ocean.
Y'all ain't about this life.
You know, the Fat Boys.
Y'all know about Wilson Phillips.
No, they don't.
They ain't about this life.
They don't.
The Fat Boys, Run DMC, Aerosmith.
Can we talk about how I'm mad at the Fat Boys and every time I try to go watch Disorderlies, I swear to you.
Man, that's hilarious.
Casey, I swear to you. Drew Barrymore in The Firestarter when she was younger, one of my favorite movies. Amazing.
Great movie.
Why every time I go look up Disorderlies and I hit the play button because I'm a Cody chick? Why every time I pull it up it's the damn Firestarter movie? And whereas I'm like, okay, this is my movie and y'all are getting my life, but I want to see the Disorderlies, okay? And I want to see them do the rap about all you can eat. And it was just a great look.
You could rap. It was fun. They did
Crush
comedy rap.
Oh yeah, Crush Groove. Oh my God.
Yes. That's when stuff mattered, people. I'm sorry. What y'all this badassery of stuff that y'all got going on right now. I'm not here for the life. I'm trying to be though. I'm trying to be
old boy.
So I ain't got one.
Well, old boy, how he just hit Drake. That was a regular thing back in the day. Y'all like, oh shit.
People call people out.
Yeah.
We was hitting.
That was the game.
Yo.
Wait, we was hitting Macaulay Culkins like all the time.
Yeah. We didn't
like that was
But that was what we call the rap battle. We were saying beef back then, which is funny how words.
There's actually a series called Beef about rappers battling. But y'all don't even know what a real rap battle is. Now, this is what modern rap battle is. Modern rap battle, people actually go... Well, they write it down. It is.
Walk it like a thugger. Walk it like a thugger.
But they're not actually freestyle battling. They're not freestyle battling. They write their lyrics down. Like, if I know something about him, I'll say, okay, I'm going to write everything I know about him, and I'm going to rehearse it.
And that's why 50 Cent said, I mean, not 50, that's why Eminem said, let me go ahead and talk about my own self right quick.
Yeah.
And then y'all ain't got nothing to say.
True freestyle.
And then we good here in life.
That's what your girl Jennifer Lewis wrote that book. That's what she said. She said, put it all out here. You can't say shit. You can't touch me. Once I put my shit out, you can't touch me, damn it.
Because that's the kind of society we live in. That's the kind of people we are. We look for negative.
Yeah, unfortunately, we become a very negative nation.
And it's one of those things that I even know, especially as women. Oh my gosh. It's like, in my industry, I am constantly just trying to uplift and really get people to see their better selves, right? But you go and you're in certain, atmospheres or things. Uh-oh, we running low?
Yep.
Okay.
On the battery or memory?
The battery.
Oh.
Alright, here.
How long we been recording? We've been recording for a minute, yeah.
Make sure it's still recording.
Yeah, about to say whenever y'all ready to wrap up.
It's recording. Making sure you still
I
recording.
see that red thing.
Last time I plugged you in, I hit the button, but you didn't want to record.
You got us out here extra 30 minutes being black.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? I just, when it comes to like women and like really uplifting them and like really getting them an opportunity to kind of see, their better light, I hate the fact that our automatic thing and I think it's just something, not even looks, it's more about it's one of those things where when I find something bad about you, somehow it lifts me up in a way, and I hate that because
that's kind of growing between society, period.
But I don't know if men have that issue.
It shouldn't be that way,
Do y'all have that issue though? Like if you're in a room and you walk into a room and you see men and a guy has like a nice suit on and some nice shoes, but he might have crust in his beard from eating just a second ago. Be like, well, his beard crusty.
With
so
men,
whatever.
it's still more.
I'm not like that. I think some men like now are becoming, or, and I don't like saying it this way. It's like
metrosexual.
Well, not metrosexual, but they're shifting towards. I think men are more so embracing their all over feelings. Somewhat.
I was just about to say, oh, you better say it
because
you better be political. But I was about to say, that's too damn emotional for me.
Yeah, like literally, men, and it's a. I see it as a good thing because I look at people and people's issues that fester with inside them. I think with men, a lot of our issues and stuff that we have is because we don't voice it. We don't have nobody to talk to because we're taught to bottle it up. Like a man holds it in, but like my grandfather told me, he told me a long time ago, and this is a man who, and I've said on another show before, never told me he loved me until after my grandmother passed. Now if I call that man and I say, I love you, whatever, see you later, he said, I love you too, Eric. So he was one of these men that was just, I go to work, I come take care of my family, and then, and that's it, type of thing. So I think now men are being taught that it's okay to cry. And he told me that when I was younger. He said, sometimes you gotta let it out. When I hit like teens and stuff, and he was like, he said, don't hold it in. He said, because it'll eat you alive. And I think that's what it was doing to him. So the things that happened to him from bottling his emotions up, he didn't want my life to be as bothersome as his was. So he taught me that, at that point, that it's okay to be this way. I
can understand that aspect of it.
Right? But I don't think men should be on some pettiness like, that dude like hating and stuff. Men are becoming Mitches.
Men
as Kevin Hart would say.
Men, it's more of a status. My car. My muscles. It is becoming. Especially how many women.
We're a very aesthetic society.
So men are becoming more of the like the things I just mentioned. But the one thing that always been around is I've slept with this many women. How many you have? Something wrong with you? Or so that issue is still definitely.
Or like when you're young, running trains.
Just like that misogynistic kind.
I mean, when I was young, like a bunch of my homeboys, they loved running trains, so to speak, on girls. And I was just like, ooh, I don't want to see your butt. Like, I ain't trying to be. I want her to myself.
I'm sorry, we're continuing this call from the afterlife. They have completely killed me in that one moment. So.
I'm just saying, I didn't want to be in all of that, and
Please leave a message at my afterlife voicemail at the beat, please.
Because I was always a karmatic type of person. Like, okay, what if I have a daughter, and just so happen now I do have a daughter. I don't want her, but people do what they're gonna do as adults anyway. Mm-hmm. But I think with the men thing is that I always tell women this too. Women have control over what men do. So like I remember hearing a young girl say, "Oh well, I broke up with him because he can't even get any other bitches." Like why I want somebody that can't get nobody else? I'm like, why would you not want somebody that's faithful to you? It's not that the guy probably couldn't get nobody else. It's probably that he just wanted that one girl. But the fact that this young man wanted this one girl, she's like, I don't want to be with you because ain't nobody else all in your face and you in.
Well, my favorite one.
Clearly.
Like ridiculous. So
my favorite one. girl, you better watch him. He don't want to cheat. Something wrong with him. That's my favorite.
Yeah, they say that, and I don't cheat on my wife.
You heard what I said. I said it right.
Time out.
You heard what I said. I said it right.
All men,
These are things that are said.
all men
like,
are
By women.
Yeah.
Oh no! This is my other favorite.
What?
No, this is my other
Can I
favorite.
record
Hold
this?
on,
Wait,
hold
it's
on.
being
Yeah,
recorded.
it's being
Say
recorded.
shit.
But this is my other favorite one. Well, when a man cheats, he a dog. He don't know no better. But when a woman cheat, she know better. She make a choice to cheat. Meaning y'all got control, so y'all can choose to cheat. But we men, we
And
can't.
everybody has control.
We can't help ourselves. It's of our nature. I've heard that from women too.
I don't. Okay.